Before we get into this video, I want to know, what is your favorite skate shoe brand? So Tyshawn Jones' first shoe, the Tyshawn Mid, was wildly popular. Everybody told me that it was super durable, really good board feel and foot protection, just all around a great shoe. But for me, there was one drawback, and that drawback is that it was a mid. I don't really like the look or the feel of mid or high tops, so I never actually sent it with the Tyshawn Mid. But then when they announced that the Adidas Tyshawn Low is coming out, that was something that seemed interesting to me. So I went ahead and I bought them, and today I'm going to give you my honest review of this skate shoe and whether or not I think that you should buy it. Before we get into the review of the shoe, let's go ahead and get a quick warm up. Subscribe if you like these videos. Let's do it. Okay, so the first thing I want to go over with these shoes is the flick. Now, these shoes have a very boxy silhouette. They remind me of like DC's in like the early 2000s, when like shoes were really puffy in the 90s and early 2000s, but these are just like a little bit slimmer. So they're kind of like a hybrid between a puffy shoe and a slim shoe. So they're kind of slim for a puffy shoe, but puffy for a slim shoe, if that makes sense. So what that does to the flick is you lose a little bit of feeling with it, honestly. I feel like the board feel with the flick in these shoes is really nothing to write home about. That's one thing that I've been missing riding a slimmer shoe, is just you feel more in control and you feel like you're more aware of the board, whereas with these, they are a little bit puffier, and so you lose a little bit of that board feel, and that includes the flick. Now you can see that it's pretty blown out all through here. It looks pretty brutal, and that just has to do with the way that they designed the shoe. It's not necessarily that it's not durable, it's just that they put a million layers in here, and no layer by itself is particularly strong, but all of them together add up to a pretty durable shoe. So I've been skating these a lot, and I normally skate like 5 times a week, and these have been holding up for me for 4 weeks, over 4 weeks, coming up on 5 weeks. And personally, I think these have a lot of life left in them. I know it looks really rough, but unfortunately that's just the way that they designed these shoes. It really makes the shoes look worn even when there's a lot of life left in them. Which brings me to the look of the shoe. Now you'll get a better idea if you take a look at my left shoe, because obviously that's my switch shoe and I don't do anything switch. So the look of the shoe, for me, it's a love-hate kind of thing. I really like the 3 stripes. I think that classic Adidas look is really cool, but they kind of have an odd profile, and I'm always back and forth on whether or not I think it's sick or I think it's weird. As far as the colors that they picked for this, the green and gold, I don't think you can get this anymore. I think they're all sold out. I think this is the slickest colorway that they made, and I'm super happy I got it. I really like that the way that the shoes look as far as the colors go, but the one big drawback is that these shoes look like they've been obliterated. Even though there's, you know, plenty of life left in them, they don't look good through the duration of skating the shoes. But I do think they're pretty durable, so like if you're gonna get these just to wear around, yeah, you're in perfect shape. These would be perfect chiller shoes. Speaking of chilling, let's talk about the comfort. Honestly, that's one of the biggest things that I like about these shoes, is just how comfortable they are. If you take a look at the insole, there's pretty much nothing there, but this outsole is made out of some sort of a softer material. It's not too soft that it's like weird skating with it, but it is kind of really like cushiony. So despite the fact that there's practically no insole in these shoes, they are extremely comfortable and they protect your feet really, really well. I've never had issues, you know, landing primo or whatever, feeling like my feet are not protected. And this is always the battle for me in my head, is whether or not I want to get a cupsole shoe that I feel confident in, because skating in this shoe, even though I've lost a lot of board feel, I feel really confident trying tricks because I know my feet are protected, whereas the opposite goes for slimmer shoes. I feel like I can feel the board really well, but I am worried about my feet getting hurt. Now, as far as the outsole on these shoes, I was expecting them to be really clunky and have zero board feel, but I was really surprised that I had a decent amount of board feel with these shoes, and you can see that there's really not much wear or tear on the bottom of the shoes. There's still plenty of grip left on these shoes, which I think is really sick, and it speaks to the quality of the materials that they're using in these shoes. So somebody that might like these shoes is probably somebody that skates gaps or drops, somebody that takes high impact, because these have really good foot protection while giving you some board control. So if you're somebody that likes to jump down stuff and you're putting your feet in harm's way, I think these shoes would be a really good option for you. But if you're somebody that stays closer to the ground and you're not really worried about getting, you know, taking slams or heel bruises or anything like that, honestly, I don't think it's worth it to get these shoes just because you sacrifice so much board feel. All in all though, I've liked these shoes a lot more than I thought I would. For me, my favorite part of this shoe is just the fact that you feel so comfortable and your foot feels so protected. It honestly gave me a lot of confidence to try tricks that I normally wouldn't have, because not only do you have this beefy outsole, but the upper is really padded as well. So you're just really confident going into tricks that if the board does something weird or you fall a weird way, that your feet are not gonna be the weak link that get you hurt. I wanna hear from you guys. What do you think about the look of these shoes? Obviously, got it. They're very unique looking shoes, but is this something that you would rock with or something that you would stay away from? Leave in the comments below. In just a second, I'm gonna tell you what my absolute favorite skate shoe is and how these shoes actually stack up next to them. But first, let's get a few more clips today. Alright, so my favorite shoe. If you already know what it is, I want you to pause the video and comment down below what your guess is. Give you like 1 second to do that. Alright, so my favorite shoe is the Kyle Walker Pro 2. And the reason why is because it is a good in-between a vulcanized shoe and a cupsole shoe. For a cupsole shoe, it has really good board feel. Now, the question is, how do the Tyshawn Lows stack up compared to the Kyle Walker Pro 2s? So at least in my opinion, the Tyshawn Lows are not far behind. For being a cupsole and being so protective of your foot, they actually have really good board feel, which is what I loved about the Kyle Walker Pro 2s. Now, the Kyle Walker Pro 2s have a lot more board feel than the Tyshawn Lows, but the Tyshawn Lows protect your foot just a little bit more than the Kyle Walker Pro 2s. So if the Kyle Walker Pro 2 is like a 10 for me, then I would put these shoes at like an 8. So I still really do enjoy skating these shoes, and the benefits of having, you know, a shoe that protects your foot, gives you the confidence to try things like that ollie that I did over that little rail thing right there from the wedge over it. I was a little hesitant to try that because I'm not much of like an impact guy. I try and push my limits as far as like jumping things and taking impact. And with the Kyle Walker Pro 2s, I would have been a little bit more hesitant. With these ones, I felt like really confident that as long as I committed to it, even if I landed primo or whatever it is, lost my balance, which I did a couple times, the shoes are gonna be there to help me 100%, and I never had any concern about the shoes. I could probably see myself trying these shoes again, or trying whatever the Tyshawn Low 3 or whatever the next edition of the Tyshawns is. Although it's like really beefy, which kind of threw me off at first, ultimately I've kind of come around and started to love skating this shoe. If you want to see everything that I'm skating, the products that I use and that I stand behind, all the links to those are in the description below. If you use my links and you buy something, that helps to support the channel. So if there's anything in there that you like, go check it out, and I appreciate all of you guys watching, commenting, subscribing, using my links. Channel is growing really, really well, so subscribe if you're not already. You can follow me on Instagram at @TheLocalJoe. Remember to make every single day a Friday. New shirts are coming soon, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.